All right, welcome to another episode of Medicine Mondays. Yours truly, Dr. Maria Davis-Pierre, your favorite board-certified internist, host of Medicine Mondays, Real Physician Reacts, and we have a special guest. This guest has graced our show probably 5 or 6 times. If you listen to the podcast, very familiar voice because she does the intro. I see this guest every single day. This is a special person in my life, thankfully, right? This is Maria Davis-Pierre. She is not only my wife, but more importantly, she is the host of her Autism Black podcast, which I definitely think you need to make sure you download and podcast. She is the CEO of Autism Black, amongst a lot of other things. And we're going to pick her brain because she has another special event on the horizon that we talk about every single year. Every single year we talk about this. But so we're getting you guys ready to go, right? Maria, thank you for, again, gracing us with your amazing presence here on Medicine Mondays.
I'm always happy to be back. Happy to talk to you all.
So again, for those, maybe this is the first time they've caught you on the episode, first time they heard about Autism Black, tell a little bit about yourself and then tell a little bit about your company, and then we'll talk about the Autism Black conference.
Sure. So I am a licensed mental health counselor here in the state of Florida. So I'm a licensed clinician, and I am the CEO and founder of Autism in Black. I'm sure if you all have been listening to Dr. Barry here for a while, you know that we have two autistic children, and I'm autistic myself. And Autism in Black came about just from our personal experiences with getting our oldest diagnosed and getting that diagnosis for her at 18 months, seeing the inconsistencies and the hurdles that we had to jump through just for being Black people. So we really wanted to bridge that gap. And we started Autism in Black, and it initially started to really just support Black parents raising Black autistic children, making sure that the information got to our community, that they saw Black people standing on a platform talking about autism without any shame, and just having that representation for our community. As we've evolved, well, we've done things like the podcast. We now train organizations to be less harmful to the Black disability community. And now we have our conference, our annual conference. And we do much more, but I'm sure if you guys check out the site and things or the podcast, you'll see everything that we do.
And for those of my YouTubers, the links will be in the show notes as well as in these description, as well as my podcast listeners. Again, if you like to listen to podcasts, all of her links that she will mention either today or throughout will be on the podcast description as well. So, and I like that you kind of touched on it, the aspect of the difficulty, right, of the process of even getting the diagnosis, especially for our children, right? Like I know last week, if you haven't last week episode, make sure you do. Last week I talked about Tony Snell, former NBA player who was also running into difficulties getting services to the point where there was essentially kind of I don't want to say a campaign, but just a cry from former NBA players as far as like, hey, get this guy on a team. Reason why is because he needed an additional year when he only needed to be on the team for a day, needed an additional year to become vested to get on the insurance plan. And as an NBA player, he recognized the services that were going to be lost if he was not still on that plan. So I say this, I talked about this a little bit more last week, just this aspect and importance of not only recognizing, being able to diagnose, but get the services that are available. Maria, I know you touched on that as well, as far as the Tony Snell situation. Now, is that an out of an ordinary situation what Tony Snell was experiencing?
No, and I think it just shows to the fact that no matter, well, I'll say it's not out of the ordinary for Black people.
Mm,
Because no matter the amount of privilege, those biases get in the way all the time. I mean, you and I have a certain amount of educational and financial privilege. I mean, me and you were in the room with our colleagues and still were having difficulty navigating through the trenches of getting services and things
mm.
like that. So it's common for our community. Doesn't make it feel good and make it right? No, but it is very common for our community, and it's unfortunate and something that we're trying to bridge that gap on.
And now leading to bridging the gap, right? The reason why I got you on the episode, right? Because we got to talk about it. The Autism in Black conference, it is coming up. It is year 2024. Talk to the people again. Maybe this is the first time they even knew about this Autism in Black conference. Talk a little bit about the motivation behind it, and then more importantly, keeping in the moment. What do we have in store this year?
Woo, so I can't let all the surprises out for this year, but guys, just know we have some amazing things in store. So keep listening and keep watching. But we're just happy to really be back for our fourth year of doing this conference, knowing that people are so ecstatic about our conference every year just warms my heart because it's needed. We are one of the few, if not the only, Black neurodivergent led autism conference out there, meaning that majority of our speakers are either autistic themselves or have a neurodivergence, ADHD, and any other neurodivergence that they have disclosed. So it's not only that we're professionals talking about that professional experience, but we're also talking about our personal experiences as well, because that seems to hit a lot more for our attendees, that personal experience of knowing what we have to go through. So, yeah, we're very excited. We have a great lineup of speakers this year. We're talking about everything. We're trying to hit every age range this year. So, that's exciting. We have, for the first time ever, the Black Fathers panel session that Dr. Barry here will be leading. This has been something that we have been trying to get in the works for 2 years now, because the past 2 years we've had one attendee in particular who has been asking for it. And they're actually on the panel as well. So we are very excited about the Black Fathers panel, because a lot of times we don't hear from the Black men in the community that are raising Black autistic children. So that's exciting. And yeah, we have a lot more in store. We've made it 3 days now. So it's Friday, half a day Friday, full day Saturday, full day Sunday. So we're trying to spread it out, that content for you all. VIPs start on Thursday with me. So yeah, it's exciting. April 19th through the 21st.
Amazing. And can you talk a little bit about just the format of the conference, as far as, I know you said 3 days, but like, how do they attend? Where do they, kind of chop it up from that perspective?
Yes, we are back for another fully virtual conference. So you do not have to leave your state, leave your home if you don't want to come to the conference. You pick up your phone, you attend on your computer, log into the Hoop app that we've used now. This will be our third year using that. And you can attend the sessions. You just go in there and click, and you'll be right there into the session that is going on at that time. And also, as usual, like we do every year, once you purchase your ticket on one of the three levels, general admission VIP or platinum VIP, you get lifetime access to all the recordings. So that means if you missed some of the day on Saturday, don't worry about it, because you'll get to watch it as many times as you want to, because you have lifetime access. So we're back for a fully virtual conference. And we do that just in consideration of families, because we know that it takes a lot to find childcare, to set up being able to leave your home for 3 days and attend a conference. And we want you guys to be able to get the content, lean in, listen, feel that community, and not have to worry about those things.
What I love about the conference, and you definitely kind of mentioned this aspect of having a father's panel, right? Because it's one of those areas where when we first started, I remember when we first said, "Hey, let's do a conference." Of course, we were scared. We'll just say the least. We were scared. We are like who would want to come to a conference led by us? And the experience that we got after that first one just kind of left us speechless, because not only was a voice out there, but there were voices speaking back to us. We didn't realize just how many voices were out there speaking to us until we put the message out there, until we put our trust and hopes and say, what, let's just have a conference that's for us, by us, and allows us to kind of feel safe. And I think that's one thing, especially in this community, that feeling of being safe is so important. Being Black is difficult. Minutes of Monday Lunch and Learn listeners, y'all know I take this all the time, right? Being Black is tough, right? So
Mhm.
imagine being Black, being autistic, and then having to navigate the world through that lens as well. So it's one thing that I just always commend, my wife, because that's just a mantle that she's picked up and she's just continued to run. And again, this is the fourth year, right? Fourth year of the conference?
Fourth year of the
fourth
conference.
fourth year of the conference. I mean, it just continues to grow, and we can't even talk about some of the stuff that's going to be happening because obviously we got to make sure stuff is signed on the dotted line. But it's just amazing to see that the response continues to grow. Like, I'm probably more excited about this fathers panel more than anything else because, again, I know the fathers are out there. I know they're out
Mhm.
there, right? But what happens, especially in kind of the public eye, a lot of times the mothers leave because that's what they do. But I always think in the background, like, who's back there in the background that knows giving that support, that is giving the, like, yes, you can do it. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we will do it. Like, who is there? And like, as over the years, we've just seen, a couple men say, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm like, it's like I said, it's just beautiful to see.
It is. And I think during our second annual conference, you did a session that was specifically for Black fathers. And we had the one Black father who was there. And it was just like you two had your own session because he was so engaged. And it was just like he felt heard. He hadn't experienced that. And with you talking about your experiences, he was like, yeah, about time somebody touches on what we go through because it is very different. The pressures that society places on Black men and their roles that they have to do as fathers, as husbands, as, pillars in the household is completely different, things that I don't even understand. So I was just very ecstatic that one, he got to feel that connection. And now we're taking that and putting it on the grand scale of a panel session that we have many experiences from many different fathers for everybody to hear.
I'm excited. So when we talk about this conference, because obviously this is something that you lead up to kind of on a year-to-year basis, like, what is it about the conference that and I always ask, like, what is it about the conference that you get out of it? Like, what is it, like, why is it? Because obviously we know why it's so special to the community, but like what does Maria Davis get out of a conference like this?
For me, it's knowing that we're providing that safe space for our attendees and our speakers. Our speakers have said the same things the attendees have said, that it's a safe space, that they haven't been in a space that is so Black and neuro affirming at the same time, where they don't have to have their defenses up, where they can let that guard down and say whatever is on their mind in a judgment free zone, knowing that I'm with my people. I can say things and I know if I say something like, who made the potato salad, y'all gonna get it. And I'll have to explain it, right? So just knowing that there's that community that we're providing for attendees is something that just, it fulfills me, knowing that we're really out here doing it, because that is the real reason that we created Autism in Black. We wanted that community, going into different spaces and having people not understand the nuances of that intersectionality of Black and being Black and autistic, So just knowing that we are providing that and people feel that safe space and they look forward to it every single year, it fulfills me.
And remember, Medicine Manager, for those who are excited, this may be the first time you heard about this conference. The links will be in the description in the show notes to get your tickets, right? To learn more about just autism in Black in general. Because this conference, yes, is the thing that kind of brings her out. Because for those who may not know, she's kind of introverted, right? Like, you kind of have to. You kind of have to drag her out to these things. You won't know it if you see her out doing these things in her light, but she likes to kind of stay low key. So every time we could try to bring her out, we do so. So if you want to know more information about just Autism in Black, all of the amazing things that she's doing, you're definitely going to make sure check the links in said bio. The links for the tickets will be in the description as well, because we want you to be there. We want you
Mm.
to feel safe. We want you to feel as a community whole, right? And that's a little shameless plug, right? Because this from the conference, right, in the past year or so, you started your own community. Because why? Like, tell us what led us to that point where you say, you know what, like I gotta have my own community as well.
It was the attendees. The attendees were on each and every year telling us we need more than just one weekend of this. I want to fill my community throughout the year. I don't want to have to wait until April to fill at home. We need something to where we have this on a daily basis. So the attendees were on us every single year. And last year, at the end of the conference, when we announced it, they were like, about time you guys did this because we've been waiting on it. So yeah, we launched the base of the autism in Black community. It was just for a while, just those who had attended the third annual conference got in just so we could get our footing and understand how to really cultivate this community, not only for Black parents, for Black autistic adults, and for professionals who are working with the Black disability community and making sure that they are not doing harm to the community. So we've really cultivated this autism in Black community that is touching on those three tiers. And it has just been amazing. We are meeting weekly, talking about whatever content of the month, that topic of the month. And it's just been absolutely amazing. I am just as fulfilled as the members are because having that community to be able to talk to about the things that we are going through. So it has been amazing. We've started slowly doing a rollout of individuals who weren't at the conference live, and we are ushering in more people. You'll see more information about it. You can check it out on the site and, join us because we are touching on many, many things. And there's even the Black Fathers Corner in there. There's a Parents Corner, Couples Corner, Professional Check-in. We have an IEP corner that we do every third Sunday. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that you guys are getting within that community.
Love it. Again, like I said, I love the shameless plug, right? Because it's one thing when you're doing amazing things. I don't want it to be the best kept secret, and that's one thing that our community won't allow, right? Like they keep singing the praises of the amazing work that you're doing. I mentioned last week we went to our daughter's honor ceremony, and like how important that was just to experience. Because again, I was not the athletic person, right? Growing up, right? I was I was always the academic. So like our highlight events were like the honor roll, were those things where we were getting our awards for having good grades. Like that was the highlight for me. And just watching my daughter, right, pick up her award, right, and you saying like, oh man, could you imagine, like us seeing our daughter here, and I was like, yeah, of course, because that's what I do. But understanding like what that all entailed to get her here is why we commend the work that you do in Autism in Black, because we know that there are a lot of parents, right, who need those instructions, who need that help, who need that community to get their children where they want to see them at for future outcomes as well.
Yeah, I think people don't really realize how negative the healthcare world can be to parents and what they say and what they put in our minds. And it wasn't like I never could possibly dream that she wouldn't be an academic scholar or things like that. But when you have people constantly telling you, nope, she won't be able to do this. Nope, she won't be able to do that. Nope, don't even think about thinking about that because she's never going to achieve it. And you're watching her achieve these things, not because we're pushing her, but because she wants it. And that's something that she's enjoying. And just knowing that those are her own goals and she is knocking them down and just watching her flourish and become her own little young adult has been something that has been eye-opening for me because another thing for parents raising, autistic children is we're so present focused a lot. We can't imagine what that future looks like. So when she was 5 and now she's 11, I would never have thought this is the child that I would be interacting with daily. So for me, it's always I just get teary-eyed and just like, oh my God, I can't even believe that we're here because it's been a lot of hard work.
Yep. And it's so funny, like when I think the presentation I did a couple years ago, I forget the title, but it was something like seeing through the clouds or something in that regards. And sometimes as a parent, Like that's kind of how it is, right? Like at least for me, I'll just speak for me. You have this picture, like, all right, this is what the kids are gonna do, and then you hear this diagnosis, and you're like, oh, like what does that mean? Like what does that mean for the future? And you just don't know. So it's such amazing thing to see when events occur, because you're like, you know what? Maybe I didn't know that this might occur, but like now that the picture is clearer, like it's such a brighter day. So I do love, like, and you said it, kind of living in that presence, because sometimes we're so focused on the now that when the future stuff happens, you almost have to go back and say, wow, like, you know what? I don't know if I would have drew it up this way, but I'm glad it came out.
Exactly. It's been, for me, just an experience of, hey, you really can't not give somebody the benefit of the doubt because you just don't know. We're very kind of conscious parents, and we let them kind of decide what they're interested in and what they want to do. And just seeing all of them choose their own kind of journeys has been an experience because they're all so different. And we do have two autistic children in our household, and they are completely different. So being in the position of navigating that in our household has been something else that's been eye-opening for us.
Amazing. So and if you want to hear more about our story, if you want to hear more about Autism in Black, what do you got to do? You got to come to the conference. Like you gotta show up to the conference. You gotta join the community, right? If this is the type of story that's resonating to you, or you know a friend or family member who you like, you know what? I heard something on Dr. Barry Pierre's podcast, and I definitely think you should be a part of it. I definitely think you should check him out. Get here, get on the conference. It's virtual, right? You don't have to fly nowhere. You don't have to, reserve no hotel room. You don't got to get babysitters. Like we got a spot for you. You could be in the comfort of your own home, backyard, front yard, in your bed, right? You could be at work, yeah, because we've had some people at work enjoying the conference. Wherever you want to be at, you can be there, because it's going to be another amazing conference. Like, it's to the point now where I'm not even shocked when it's an amazing conference. I'm already thinking about, like, all right, like, how do we top this one? Like, how are we going to make this one better? Like, if like, and every year I say that, and every year Maria's like, just enjoy what's happening now. We'll worry about next year when
It
next year
makes me
comes
nervous.
about.
I even said that to the attendees. They're like, I don't know why you get nervous because every year you guys just make it even better. So that's something. And then I think the third annual was the first time we had international as well. So even if you're not in the United States, attend, because we've had international attendees as well. We've had people on different coasts. There was an attendee last year who was on the opposite coast, and they were getting up every single morning. They were the first ones on the sessions. They were so involved, and they said that it was the best experience that they had, so even if you are not on the East Coast, this conference is for you wherever you are. And I would suggest getting that VIP ticket if you can, because we got some amazing sponsors that we haven't announced that are helping us with our VIP packages this year. And I'm trying to keep one for myself because all of them stuff that's in there. So if you can go for that VIP package, go ahead and get it because you won't be disappointed. But if you need to go in at the general, we're just happy that you're coming.
Amazing. So where can they find you? Your socials, like, drop them out. Again, it will be in the description, but I just want to make sure, like, they can hear as well too. Like, where can they get you?
Yes, you can go to our website, www.autismblack.org, and it has links to everything, links to our conference, links to the community, links to our Shopify shop if you want an Autism in Black shirt, and it has all of our socials on there as well. I am most active on Instagram at Autism in Black, but we are also really ramping up our Facebook presence as well, and that's Autism in BLK. So you can check us out there, but we do have platforms on TikTok and Twitter handles as well. And then if you are wanting a conference ticket, you can go directly to our website, or you can go directly to the conference site, which is autisminblack.org/conference 2024.
Amazing. So you guys, thank you for joining. As always, again, if you're a podcast listener, you already know this familiar voice. She has been a rock of our family for so long and still continues to command a presence and run her own business, run her own, organization that we love her for. Maria, thank you for joining this week's Medicine Mondays.
Happy to be here and hope to see you at the conference.